Talk Studios. Joining us now, Ricky Mathews. He's the host of Coast View on SuperTalk Mississippi. And you got a new show coming up, Ricky. Very excited for you. Congratulations on that. SuperTalk Outdoors. Tell us what's going to happen there.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. But let me first say congratulations to you, Gerard. I mean, you hit the ground running. You were the man for the job, and it's been amazing watching you. Your depth and breadth of experience with entrepreneurship and understanding the financial situation is really going to aid you well as we continue to fight for ways to help the economy move forward. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Anyway,
Appreciate that.
I wanted to say that first.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So look, you've done a good job working with the foundation. JT did a great job working with the foundation for Mississippi Wildlife Fisheries and Parks over all these years. What has happened at the foundation is that they've begun to find their voice, and they've sort of been in the background all these years. I think the Conservation Trust Fund brought them forward in more ways than they had in the past, and they came to realize that this is a really significant opportunity for them. And at the end of the day, outdoors is something that's in my heart and soul. I have a place up in the Mississippi Delta that I'm leaving for in just a few minutes. And I live here on the coast of Mississippi, fishing the backwaters and offshore. I'm actually in my hunting and fishing room as a studio as we speak. I'm looking forward to this. We're gonna do everything that you guys did before, but we're gonna take it a little bit further and have more Coast View type conversations for people who haven't listened to Coast View. It's a chance to sort of get to know better the people who are the outdoor celebrities here along Mississippi. I'll give you an example. The first show is going to be Jimmy Primos and Brad Ferris from Primos Outdoors. And we're going to talk about their love of hunting, what's it like to do their TV show and all of that. We'll have people in from the department from time to time to talk about deer season and duck season and all the things that matter. But we're going to work harder to find those people who have a story to tell, those ambassadors that are working to push Mississippi's outdoor forward in this state. What a great state this is as it relates to the outdoors, and I look forward to being a part of that.
Yeah, that is so cool. And so tell us a little bit about the format of the show. What do you anticipate there?
Well, it's going to be, Jimmy Primos and Brad Ferris probably do a lot of interviews along the way, but I want to know what drives them personally. Where did they personally get their love of the outdoors from? Shakespeare wrote this great thing. He said that the earth has music for those who listen. And we in Mississippi sort of know that the outdoors has so many messages. I also like to quote John Muir, who said, that there is incredible opportunity for us to really enjoy the outdoors. He's written so much about it. And I tell you, I want to understand what makes the people tick. What is it that makes them so profoundly willing to be the ambassadors for Mississippi as they travel the world, and find those unique personalities, those hunter and fishermen, people who maybe don't hunt and fish and just enjoy the state parks, who have great stories to tell. We're going to find those people and have sort of campfire conversations with them to find out what makes them tick.
We are so blessed, as you indicated, in the state of Mississippi. Very unique assets we have in terms of the outdoors and hunting and fishing. And it is a part of the lives of so many Mississippians, which is really incredible when you think about it. And it's a big industry on top of that. I mean, it generates a lot of dollars, and it is a very diverse industry in that there are lots of money going to lots of different goods and services, all for the purpose of hunting, fishing, and enjoying the great outdoors. And we're also blessed with a number of fantastic state parks. And we also have a really good agency in the Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, and Parks. People that are really committed to what they're doing. As you know, I've had many of them on the show for the last year and got to know them and have thoroughly enjoyed that. But they take a lot of pride in these assets and conserving those assets and ensuring that they serve Mississippians and provide pleasure and entertainment to Mississippians.
No, they do. We're lucky to have such an amazing agency, and like you have done, I'm going to continue to focus on making sure people understand the role that they play. If you think about coastal Mississippi and offshore fishing, some of the best in the world here, some of the best backwater fishing in the world. You think about
Yeah.
the lakes, and you pointed out the state parks, what they have to offer. You think about the Mississippi Delta and that region along the Mississippi River and what it provides in terms of outdoor enjoyment. It's a very special place. It's probably some of the most significant deer hunting, duck hunting, offshore fishing in the world right here in Mississippi. And I want to mention one other thing, just from an economic point of view. You pointed this out, and you think about farming being this number one industry in the state of Mississippi. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars.
Right.
And then outdoor recreation being billions of dollars. And you think about how the farming community and outdoorsmen work together in the state. Whew, man, we've got a lot to celebrate. We really do. And this show's going to be about that, celebrating the people who are trying to illuminate the light, the people at the department, at the agency who are focused on making sure we get the best of the best to take advantage of. It's going to be a great celebration. I'm looking forward to hosting it.
And we have, as you know, most of the land in Mississippi is privately owned, and most of where that hunting and fishing occurs is on private land. But these private landowners, they are conservators in their own right. I mean, they truly understand the value of the assets they have, and they want to work really across the spectrum of private and public sector entities to ensure that those lands and those waterways are protected and keep providing for Mississippians.
Yeah, over 90% of the land in Mississippi is privately owned. And, think about the Conservation Trust Fund that didn't make it this past session. Hopefully it will make it this next session. But the majority of the matching funds that will be available to Mississippi are actually through the Farm Bill. And so you're talking about billions of dollars that's available. If we don't make private lands part of that trust fund, then we'll lose out on the opportunity to have all that matching funds from the Farm Bill. But, it's interesting, Gerard. The show will touch on important issues like that, and certainly we'll talk about why what happens in Washington or why what happens in Jackson is important to you if you're enjoying the outdoors. You have to do some of that, and I hope to be able to do it in a way that's not talking over people's heads, that is talking about policy in a way that they can understand it. But at the end of the day, I want people to come back to this show. We want people to come back to the show because they just enjoy the outdoors and they get a good dose of it. And we're not going to get into a bunch of politics. The one thing that brings us together, and that's why Steve Azar's song "One Mississippi" is the theme song for this new outdoor show. The one time when we can come together, whether we're Republicans or Democrats, black or white, whatever, is when we're in the outdoors together. And that's what I want to celebrate.
Yeah, that's good. That's a great point there, and it's so true because it is a bond. I think we can all sort of agree on that, and maybe break through and cut through some of the conflict to solve problems working together. I can think of no better way to do that than enjoying the great Mississippi outdoors. So are you going to be recording the show in studio? Are you going to do some on-location stuff? How's that going to work?
So we're going to use very much the format we're doing for Coast View, which is we do it. We're going to record it day of. So we'll record the show at 9 o'clock in the mornings. It's going to play at noon. That way, if issues are cropping up, especially during the legislative session, we'll be able to be very focused on that. But what I like about it, when I did a recent interview with Will Primus at his house, you get a chance to kind of go into his study and see his turf. So we're looking forward to using his latest technology to make it a multimedia opportunity.
Yeah, and speaking of Will, his company, I mean, it's known throughout the world for what they produce. And I'll share something with you here. When he started that company back in the 80s, my company implemented his first accounting and inventory system back then when he had a little space over by the old Primo's Northgate restaurant. Remember it well. And then we've got Mossy Oak and the empire that they have built, all right here in Mississippi. Was up there for a remote a couple of weeks ago and was just astonished at, again, just how diverse they are in all of their business operations. This is really a good place to operate in the outdoors industry. It's a good place to do something and make some money.
The Drake brand, and by the way, all these guys that you just mentioned and more like them are ambassadors for this.
Yeah, I didn't mean to leave anybody out. Please, you know that. Just those two came off the top of my head. The Drake brand as well. And there are plenty more and lots of other folks that serve outdoorsmen. Mississippi's just blessed with that. And we're going to be in good shape with you hosting this show. I look forward to it. Congratulations to you on that, Ricky. Enjoy being on the team with you, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Me too, buddy. Take care. Have a great day.
We'll be back with more middays. We got